You see, Pence outlined day one executive actions if elected. And anybody like that idiot is stupid. Judge won't let banks and insure banks are insured hide their Trump docs. So what? What Trump docs is you trying to hide? You still going after Trump over bullshit, and we still see the same shit. What I'm saying? Abbott's Texas National Guard set up a secret spy to operation and treated the border like it was a war in Iraq. I'm saying? Whistleblower. Yeah, you need to set it up like there's a war in Iraq because it's a war on the American people. You know what I'm saying? You causing this. Talking about asylum seekers, why you flood the country with 50 million fucking people. Who the fuck is you trying to fool? You know what I'm saying? And anybody in the rightful mind that's going along with creepy Joe Biden and this bullshit is out their fucking mind. Let's just be honest with you. I'm just being straight up honest with you. They're out their fucking mind. And they know it. You know what I'm saying? You cannot flood our country with all these people. And you know it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You cannot. You know? You cannot. It's just a point. You know what I'm saying? It's just a point. We see New York man accused of brutally beating, you know what I'm saying? Brutally beating, urinating on the unresponsive housemate indicted for murder. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, we see a lot of this going on these days. This is in Port Jefferson. You know what I'm saying? And I know the guy who did this, nonsense in more ways than one. You know what I'm saying? You know, but we see a Port Jefferson station man was indicted Tuesday after allegedly beating and choking another man in front of the house they shared and stripping the man's clothes off and urinating on his unconscious body before he died 5 days later. Suffolk County District Attorney, you know what I'm saying? Attorney Tiny, how you say name? Tiny, or whatever, announced that the 46-year-old old Felix Martinez, you know what I'm saying, was indicted. Felix Martinez was indicted on charges of second degree murder and second degree attempted murder. Oh yeah, they need to lock his ass up. You know what I'm saying? They need to lock his ass up. You know what I'm saying? We see uncertainty for migrants as 60 days deadline to leave shelter looms. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. Uh-huh. We see here where the Trump COVID advisor, were living in a fantasy world. You know what I'm saying? Living in a fantasy. The only fantasy world we were living in is called Pete Joe Biden. But this is coming in by Deborah, Bricks, I guess, was part of a White House task force. You know what I'm saying? This is coming in at published 8/29/23, 5:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, updated 10 hours ago by Amy, you know what I'm saying, is singer, I guess. But we see the former White House COVID-19 response coordinator, Deborah Briggs, FD, you know what I'm saying, didn't hold back when talking about the current response to COVID-19. We're living in this bit of we're living in this bit of a fantasy world where we're pretending that COVID is not relevant. Yeah, it's relevant once you put it in people. yeah, it sure becomes relevant. There is no other way for it to be here in the first place because whatever hell she talking about, it didn't come there by being there on its own, by flying through the air. It didn't come there by someone coming on the ship and coming off the ship. It didn't come there and jump in the nursing homes just by jumping in the nursing home. You know what I'm saying? And the hospitals. What proved that is where Como and the rest of y'all got your bodies to prove to the world that there was one in the United States. It came out of the nursing homes and the hospitals. So that proved that you gave it to them by what? Injection. So get out of my face. You garbage. You know what I'm saying? With your trickery bullshit. You know what I'm saying? With your trickery bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Now you're talking about another one for everyone. Yeah, another one for every who. Another one for those idiots who want to get one, but we're not getting it, and no, we're not. You know what I'm saying? And people need to stand up and be ready to fight the United States government if creepy Joe Biden remains in office and continue to send down these shitty ass laws on this COVID bullshit between him, Bill Gates, Anthony Fauci, and the rest of the World Health Organization and many other organizations such as the CDC and so forth on. You know what I'm saying? You ain't fooling nobody because we know that Bill Gates is the one, Bill Gates and Linda nutcase ass Gates, Melinda Gates or whatever the fuck you want to call them, is the one that has funded much of this fucking operation, you know what I'm saying, and even have mad fun and ties into the World Health Organization and CDC, you know what I'm saying, probably holding most of the stocks to tell y'all asses what to do. So you ain't no more than a jackass. And I don't understand how Bill Gates, you know what I'm saying, who is he working with? The Chinese? Who the fuck is they working with in Soros, calling themselves a philanthropist, but got more power in our government, in our medical field, than anyone else? How is a philanthropist and uh, Bill Gates a philanthropist, Soros a philanthropist, and all these philanthropists is telling them, is doing this shit to us? You know what I'm saying? We must shut these motherfuckers down. The only way to do that is to elect Donald J. Trump. And you continue to be a jackass, you're gonna pay that price. You know what I'm saying? We see Joe the Plumber, who rose to fame after, you know what I'm saying, confronting Obama in 2008 campaign, you know what I'm saying, trail, you know, dead at 49. Oh yeah, they probably took him out. You know what I'm saying? Anybody come along, Bill Gates, Hillary Clinton, and the rest of them motherfuckers, this is what happens. Ooh, knock him out. You know what I'm saying? This man could not have reached the top of the bus due to his forward momentum carrying him over. You know, something wrong with that man. He needs mental help. You know what I'm saying? We see the DOJ, you know what I'm saying, according to what's going on, the DOJ tells FBI, the DOJ tells Jordan FBI subpoenas can't be enforced once Hunter Biden inquiry going. Yes, it can be enforced. You know what I'm saying? You enforced it on Donald J. Trump, and it should be enforced on you. You know what I'm saying? We see the recruiting is underway for Trump, like a wrecking ball to shrink government and fire federal workers. Some of them do need to be fired. And many lawmakers, especially like this dumbass Merrick Garland here, trying to avoid the fact to cover Hunter Biden from going to jail. You know what I'm saying? You fool to do that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, that's bullshit. Neighbor calls cops on black couple who walk through their brand new house. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to their brand new house. You know what I'm saying? All that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You see a daycare worker who terrifies children with Halloween masks punished in court. You know what I'm saying? Something wrong with her. We see anti-abortion activists, including one who kept, you know what I'm saying, the fetus convicted of illegal blocking DC clinic. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. Uh-huh. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the issue of that should not be handled that way. You know what I'm saying? But we see New York named second worst, hardest working state in the, you know what I'm saying? And we see Donald Trump face sweep drop in support after GOP debate Ron DeSantis and Chris Christie gaining on ex-president poll. Yeah, okay. They could gain on whatever poll they want to gain on, but they ain't good for this job right about now. And I'm just be dead honest with you. They're not right for the job right about now. You know what I'm saying? We see Donald Trump indictment, two Georgia defendants, you know what I'm saying, granted hearing on federal court removal. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we see the first GOP candidate drops out of race. You know what I'm saying? That is 2024. You know what I'm saying? We see candidates dropping out of the race already on the Republican side. We see, you know what I'm saying, Creep Joe Biden blames the hostile. We see Fulton County, you know what I'm saying, case, you know what I'm saying, Ray Smith becomes the first defendant in in enter plea. You know what I'm saying? There's a flying fuck because there's all a bunch of garbage. You know, when we look at it, it's a whole bunch of garbage. You know, and we can catch up on some of this old news here, see what's going on. And more ways than one, we see here where they got in this one, where they're saying that Trump disaster just got worse. We see Donald Trump played himself and made, the wrong move, which led to which led him straight into Jack Smith's hands by announcing his candidacy. Who gives a flying fuck? You know what I'm saying? Jack Smith needs to go sit his crooked lying ass down somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Even when we look at this one here, where Alden Nutcase Sharpton of the top and stupid said, but we see Trump is above the law and there is obvious privilege. He openly committed treason against the United States. No, he did not commit treason. And this is coming in by Tamara Lewis. You know what I'm saying? In her comment section talking stupid shit. Tamara, you need to get your fucking head together because he did not commit treason. Who committed treason was the Demon Democrats. The Demon Democrats, along with Soros, Bill Gates, Antifa Fauci, the Killing Weasel, the World Health Organization, the CDC, you know what I'm saying, Homeland Security, the HAS, you know what I'm saying, and the DOJ, FBI, and all of them is the one committing treason against the United States, but trying to put the blame and keep Trump at a criminal overstanding. So we look at Trump and don't look at you while you cover your ass on all the bullshit and got all the black people and all the dumb motherfucking people who are dumb as bitch, not all, you know what I'm saying, believe in everything that your demon sucking, blood sucking idiots say. You know what I'm saying? And you're a bunch of lying, crooked, devil worship medical individuals. You know what I'm saying? But we see Chairman Lewis coming in talking about Trump is above the law. He obviously created treason. No, he did not against the United States. No, he did not. No, he did not. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And he said the United States and hasn't had his passport revoked. You know what I'm saying? Fuck off with that stupid ass story. Al Sharpton ain't nothing but a sellout just like you. You know what I'm saying? And they, you know what I'm saying? They were there on the scene and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We see the 14th Amendment, Section 3, you know what I'm saying? A new legal battle against Trump takes shape. You know what I'm saying? As we see. But we see here where the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump legal team, you know what I'm saying, battles a piling up in Washington, D.C. You know what I'm saying? His legal battles is piling up in Washington, D.C. You know what I'm saying? The list goes on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, of course, jackasses too. You know what I'm saying? But even if all of those cases work out in his favor, you know what I'm saying, advocates say a new legal challenge could still sideline him. Separate from the separate from the, I guess they're saying separate from the criminal cases, over the past few weeks, a growing body of, you know what I'm saying, a growing body of conservative scholars have raised a constitutional argument. You know what I'm saying? In Norwegian 10-1, they have raised a constitutional argument that Trump efforts to overturn the result. He didn't. What efforts did he have to overturn the results? You know what I'm saying? Talking about efforts in the 2020 election makes him ineligible to hold. No, it does not. It does not. In no shape or form. Because he did not try to overturn no election. All he asked on the phone was, where's my votes? Give me my votes. Give me my votes. He didn't tell him to go cheat any votes. He didn't tell him to change any votes. He didn't tell him to look for. He just told him, go find his votes that he's supposed to have had there. In other words, if I'm missing my votes in Georgia, you know what I'm saying? And I called on it a rapping dumbass bird, and I said, Mr. Ravenberg, where are my votes? I'm supposed to have a 1,450,000 votes coming in from down there, and I don't see them. Go find me my votes. Find me some votes. Find me some votes. Help me out and help me get up off of this. Help me win this election. Find me this vote. The American people need it. You know what I'm saying? So you need to get the fuck on with that third shit. You know what I'm saying? I read that shit. That shit does not say that, and you're full of shit. You're lying to the American people talking about Section 3, you know what I'm saying, U.S. Constitution, 14th Amendment. You don't even respect the fucking amendment, talking your demon democratical motherfuckers. Talking about a constitution. Y'all don't even respect the constitution. And matter of fact, when Bush knocked on the World Trade Center before he had his first 4 years, he was amending a whole lot of shit in the constitution, which means this is the constitution. Here's amendment. Here's the 14th Amendment. You know what I'm saying? He would down at the bottom of the 14th Amendment, he would write in his own shit. You know what I'm saying? And all kinds of dumb shit was going on. So don't give me that garbage ass piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? Nobody gonna hear that piece of shit y'all talking about. You lying motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Report, you know what I'm saying? Joe Biden administration met with Special Jack Smith team before Trump's indictment. Oh yeah. We're gonna find a lot of that trickery going on. That the Biden team's Biden administration gonna meet with Jack Smith to damn sure coach him on, because y'all want to keep Trump tied up in all kinds of criminal charges to make sure that he does not win the presidential election, because you know if he wins, he's going to clear your asses out. So we expect you to even try to kill him, just like you did with Reagan. You know what I'm saying? We on to your shit. Just like you did John F. Kennedy. Just like you did Robert F. Kennedy. Just like you did Walter Rodney. Just like you did Malcolm X. Just like you did Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? We see Fauci did not say on V people, you know what I'm saying, must be locked down. Yes, he did. Yes, he fucking did. Don't give me that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And you need to get him the fuck out of our government and out of any laboratory on this planet Earth. This mad fucking idiot bubblehead looking fucking dork fucking looking jackass. You know what I'm saying? And we're getting tired of your Caucasian troglodytes motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? You get up in the office and you're doing a whole bunch of garbage shit and selling out to China and every other nation and fucking our nations up, and then want to sit in our face and act as if you are some old bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But when we look here, we see where even John Kerry, you know what I'm saying, was accused of the Logan Act. You know what I'm saying, of violating the Logan Act. But I guess it's an unconstitutional law, so it doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying? But when we look at the Logan Act, you know what I'm saying, we look at the first one stat 613, you know what I'm saying, you know, 18 USC, you know what I'm saying, asterisk, you know what I'm saying, 953, you know what I'm saying, and so forth. Enact January 30th, 1799. You know what I'm saying? A United States federal law that criminalized negotiations between unauthorized American citizens who, with foreign government having a dispute with the United States, Creepy Joe Biden's son, damn sure, and Creepy Joe, and a lot of the demon Democrats, and including the deep state as well, is all guilty of this. I don't care what it's Silicon Valley, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, all of them. You know what I'm saying? All of them. You know what I'm saying? Fauci. You know what I'm saying? What's the name? This is why they call themselves a philanthropist, but that don't make you nothing in our government. You know what I'm saying? Whether you philanthropist or not, what the fuck is you doing in our medical field and in our government itself, causing and creating these laws and forcing people into these fucking corners of being jamboree with your V shit. You know what I'm saying? But you are going out and you are a citizen. His son is not a fucking foreign advisor. His son is not a fucking president. Creepy Joe Biden's son is not a foreign legal actor for his father in legal affairs across this fucking planet, especially with our enemies. What the fuck is he doing this shit? And you're gonna talk about some motherfucking Logan Act, you know what I'm saying? Where American citizens would find, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? When we look at it, it's saying in Act on January is a United States federal law that criminalizes negotiation between unauthorized American citizens with foreign government to having a dispute with the United States. You know what I'm saying? The intent behind the act is to prevent unauthorized negotiation from undermining the government's position. This has already happened by the demon Democrats, Obama, Bush father, and all the demon Democrats in the whole circle leading up all the way to motherfucking Bill Clinton, Billy Slick Willie, Kitty Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Anthony Fauci, Bill Gates, CDC, the World Health Organization, and all these motherfuckers is guilty of this particular act right here. To undermine the position, the act was passed following George Logan unauthorized negotiation with France in 1798 and was signed into law by President John Adams on January 30th, 1799. You know what I'm saying? The act was amended in 1994, changing the penalties for violations, changing the penalties from violations, fine 5,000 to a fine under this title. This appears to be the only amendment to the Act. Violation of the Logan Act is a felony. You know what I'm saying? So Creepy Joe Biden, them and all of them can be tried under this, the Logan Act. You know what I'm saying? Because that's exactly what they did. And even as a president, you know what I'm saying, involved in your son's dealing, who is not a president, and out there making foreign deals for our government, is very, very, it should be a felony and high treason in itself. You know what I'm saying? While they talking about a Logan Act. You know what I'm saying? We see the Logan Act, you know what I'm saying, was basically a response to the effort by Philadelphia Quakers, a Quaker named George Logan, to try to negotiate directly with the French government. This is what Creepy Joe and his son did using fake names. This was the biggest scandal in the time in the foreign affairs, you know what I'm saying, because Logan, a Democratic Republican, was, you see that? He was a demon Democrat and called himself a Republican, was trying to thwart the policies of the Federalists who control both houses of Congress and the White House. Okay, so we see the bullshit in the garbage that they're doing. They ain't fooling nobody with that. See, they ain't fooling nobody with that. See, you know what I mean? They're talking a whole bunch of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? In more ways than one. We see a lot of this is going on in itself. You know what I'm saying? Even when we look at the 19th century, you know what I'm saying? Only two indictments have ever been handed up under the Logan Act. Both in the 19th century, the first occurrence in 1803. You know what I'm saying? When a grand jury indicted France, Francisca Flournoy, a Kentucky farmer who had written an article in the Frankfurt Guardian, you know what I'm saying, of freedom under the pen name of a Western American. In the article, uh, Flournoy, or whatever his name is, you know what I'm saying, advocated for the creation of a new independent state. You know what I'm saying? That's in the 20th century. He was tried on that. In the 20th century, in 1975, Senator John Sparkman and George McGovern, oh yes, how did I know? Traveled to Cuba and met with officials there. In in considering that case, the United States Department of States, you know what I'm saying, concluded, you know, declare intent to clear intent of this provision, you know what I'm saying, the Logan Act, is to prohibit unauthorized persons from intervening in disputes between the United States and foreign governments. Nothing in Section 953 Logan Act, you know what I'm saying, however, would appear to restrict members of Congress from engaging in discussions with foreign officials in pursuit of their legislative duties under the Constitution. In the case of Senate McGovern and Sparkman, the executive branch, although it did not in any way encourage the senators to go to Cuba, was fully informed of the nature and the purpose of their visit, and had valid validate their passports for travel to the country. You know what I'm saying? We see in the 21st century, in 2007, the representative, you know what I'm saying, Stephen King, you know what I'm saying, Stephen King introduced legislation that, you know what I'm saying, would prohibit speakers of the House Nancy Pelosi, kill our world, I say. You know what I'm saying? From drawing on federal funds to travel to foreign states which the United States deemed to sponsor terrorists. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? On March 2017, the Speaker, you know what I'm saying, released an opening letter to Iran government. Yeah, she down with their food. You know what I'm saying? But constitutionally, there has been little judicial decision of the constitutionally of the Logan Act. The United States District Court for the Southern District of New York. You know what I'm saying? In Warren versus British, you know what I'm saying, petroleum and so forth on. But you get the picture in which they are violating in many ways and talking about some Donald J. Trump. You know what I'm saying? But we know for well a lot of that, even Bill Gates can be guilty of this in all ways, the Logan Act for sure, and he's going to be tried for treason. You know what I'm saying? Under that same law, because he violated by going around the country and offering everybody else $30 million to bring in his fucking Juice V program. Bringing boxes of that shit and storing it up in more countries. He probably stored it up in all the NATO countries as well. You know what I'm saying? In any country that you see was over there doing it to their people, he had been there prior to that. Bill Gates went around the whole entire world bribing them into taking $3 million and bringing in his V program. You know what I'm saying? And had boxes of it. That's why they was talking about they're gonna come up with a solution, and then all of a sudden they did it in less than 2 to 3 weeks or 3 months, or less. You know what I'm saying? Because they already had it. They already had it. You see, storing under the nursing homes and probably the hospital. Boxes and boxes of this shit was already made probably back in 2010, 2000, I mean 2009, 2008, 1999, even probably going back to the 80s. They were working on all storing this stuff and going around, from the 80s, and even going around telling people that I'm a philanthropist. My name is Bill Gates, and I'm going to pay you $3 billion for you to bring in the whole boxes on my V's, and then you can V up the people, and inject them with this shit. So when the whole shit popped off and came all the way to him now coming through all that time, he started to bring up the topic about we have to start doing this and doing that because there's a great virus coming. So we have to start making these in order to be ahead of the game. And then Obama passed a law that you can't sue them if you get a V and then you get a side effect and you die. You know what I'm saying? So we know for well what you did. And you know what I mean by the V. I don't have to say the whole word. You know what I'm saying? So we see that they were planning all this shit all the way up to what we see now. You know what I'm saying? And they already had it. You know what I'm saying? They already had it. You know what I'm saying? Because they had been already went around. And it would take Bill Gates, quite a while to fly around to all these countries and go to these countries. And that's what he did. That's why it took so long. And then he started making forums, you see, back in probably '09 or 10 places, like he started making forums talking about the great virus. And then when you look at it, all the presidents, even Hillary Clinton, and there's a great virus coming up. Obama, there's a great virus coming up. You know what I'm saying? Creepy ass, nutcase ass, jackass, Biden. We got a virus coming in. You fuck party killing nutcase. We got a virus. You know what I'm saying? But they already had the medicine already planned out to jam in your ass. And when people told your asses, you did not want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? And now he's going to try to do it again before he gets out of office, because if it don't go down where everybody got to jam or rejam, right, they're going to set off that fucking gas, and that gas is probably going to set all your suckers off, whatever's in you, going to react to that shit, and they're going to probably kill hundreds of millions of people, and whoever survived, going to be in disarray. You ain't going to have no help. A lot of things going to be cut off from you, you know what I'm saying? And if people let that stop them, you know what I'm saying, or even happen at all, we know for well that the Joe Biden administration and the deep state and many other individuals allow these enemies into our country, and they're dug in deep, even spying on regular Americans like me to hear every word and everything I got to say. But I got one word that would help, no, two words that'll help y'all out. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Because if we gonna go out from gas and all kind of bullshit and gas lines, how the fuck we gonna stop all that? How the hell we gonna survive all that bullshit they talking about in the apocalyptic garbage or shit? You're full of shit. You're full of shit then. You're full of shit now. You're probably gonna be full of, well, yeah, you will be full of shit in the future. You know what I'm saying? We see Judge sets March. We don't want to hear that fucking bullshit. That's another set of bullshit talking about they were set for March and all kinds of things. We see Stead Fink, you know what I'm saying, reports plans of $1 million guerrilla warfare campaign to push to guerrilla warfare campaign push to hold off New York Demon Democrats offensive. This is coming in by Daniel. It looked like Daniel Wallace or something like that 7 days ago Eastern Standard Time. But we see a third top ranking Republican, you know what I'm saying, is reportedly planning to flood $100 million of campaign dollars into into strategic into a strategic district in her home state of New York to hold off the Democrats from offensive next year. And she need to. We all need to. We should all be out there fighting to hold that up. We see Governor, tells the governor, GOP gov, tells Jen Psaki, Republican, Republicans are trying to save the country. Donald Trump is trying to save himself. No, Donald Trump is trying to save the country. Y'all asses, dumbass, rather than back Trump up and fight this a good fight, you trying to save your ass. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't see how you trying to save the country. It's a bit too late, isn't it, sucker? I'll be talking that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Talking about his name is Chris Sanu Sanu Sununu. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, you look like more like Chris Sadudu. Get the fuck out of here. That's the shit you garbage is. You know what I'm saying? Bring them to justice. Georgia town residents demand answers in Trump election plot. We see this is coming in by Georgia Timothy Pratton Douglas 8 hours ago Eastern Standard Time, coming off the Guardian. But we see here with a little silver in this front of it, you know what I'm saying? We see here on Saturday afternoon, roughly 70% of 70%, 70 no, roughly 70 people gathered on folding chairs in the sweltering church meeting room in a small town of Douglas, about 200 miles, 322 kilometers southeast of Atlanta, Georgia. Less than a week earlier, Donald Trump and 18 of his allies were indicted in the Fulton County lying ass bullshit. Now I'm saying Fulton County garbage for efforts to overturn the 2020 election, including, and no, he did not try any efforts to overturn a fucking thing. You lying son of a bitch. It was probably Antifa, Evoke, Black Lives Matter, FBI, and CIA, and whoever else is involved in this bullshit. That's why I said you didn't see any black people, did you, going up to rushing the White House? You know what I'm saying? To where you had seen, if it was black people, they would have been killed us or shot us up or all that. Yeah, you better be glad it wasn't you, dumbass. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? They had done their part throughout the city and all over America. So when it came time for the White House, they weren't going to go there. They ain't going to go there. You know what I'm saying? So they let the white people do that. You know what I'm saying? That was working for the demon Democrats. They let them do that because then it'll look better than black people doing it. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? With their racist ass. You see? It was all right for black people to tear up the towns and shit and get bailed out by Kamala Harris. Go fund me, bail me account. You know what I'm saying? For the black lives people who are there bashing heads and ripping up our cities and states. You know what I'm saying? And I can give all the people in the town for arming themselves and be ready for their ass when they come through. You know what I'm saying? Next time they do. You know what I mean? Don't give me the disclaimer, but something has to be done when these people jump up in the name of black people talking about some Black Lives Matter and cause all kinds of bullshit in our state, in our country.